fly a million miles away somewhere, just me and you. Can we go MIA somewhere far from this bush? Let's fly a million miles away somewhere, just me and you. I don't care where we go, as long as so far, so far, so far from here. It's about time I took a little trip. I need to clear my head.
What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? It's your boy Big Maul with another episode of Get It Together with Big Maul. Hope you guys have been great. Hope you have been spending your time wisely and with the right people, or should I say, utilizing your time wisely and spending time around the right people, and just being your best self, man. Hope you guys have had a great basically 2 weeks, man. I had every intention on recording last week, but Easter and everything, man. My father-in-law came and he cooked dinner for us, and we were watching. It was WrestleMania weekend also, so we were watching WrestleMania and just chilling out. But I've had a great 2 weeks. This past Tuesday was me and my wife's 2-year wedding anniversary, which is crazy because dang, 2 years has went by just that quick. But definitely blessed and highly favored. You know what I'm saying? We didn't do anything really, man. We just kind of chilled around the house. We grilled, and that was that. That was really that, man. But how y'all feeling, man? Hope y'all feeling good. It's a lot going on, man, in the past 2 weeks that I haven't spoke. I don't know if y'all are aware, but have y'all seen the stuff going on with Shannon Sharp? Man, if you're an athlete or if you just love sports in general, man, it's like Shannon Sharp is like your favorite uncle. That's your guy. You know what I'm saying? But he got some stuff going on, man. He got some stuff going on, and it's not good, man. I feel like I'm not even gonna get too deep in the story, but I'm just gonna say, basically, the woman is now 22 years old, and she's accusing Shannon Sharp of rape. But these two began talking when she was like 19, and she's an OnlyFans model or whatever. So, there's that, and Shannon Sharp is 56 years old. So many things wrong with that. But hey, to each his own. I mean, yes, she was legal. 19 is a legal age, but at the same time, it's like, dude, come on now. Come on now. And then there's these text messages that have been posted and audio that has been leaked, and he's taking a leave of absence from ESPN, from his ESPN duties on First Take, and he's going to come back, he said, at the beginning of the preseason of the NFL, which is, I want to say, like, like August. So, yeah, man, so, come on, man. Come on, man. Like, do better. You got to be smarter than that, Why you messing with an OnlyFans model? You could have been married with kids right now, or with grandkids because he has kids, or you could have been married, or you could have had someone. You get someone your age, around your age range, and not have to worry about those types of things, man. But do your own research on that topic, man. I don't want to dwell on that topic. It's a lot going on. But I do want to say, as a segue into what I want to talk about, man, do you know better? Do you know better? And are you doing better? Are you? Because the saying is, you know better. When you know better, you do better, right? That's the saying. So are you doing better? Yes, I'm turning my car on. I'm sitting in my car. But are you doing better? A lot of times we aren't raised in the way of where we should be able to have emotional intelligence and have critical thinking skills and learning, and growing up in church and learning and knowing who God is, and what about prayer and meditation and being able to recognize the Holy Spirit and feel that discernment, so that you can recognize when you shouldn't be at a certain place or around certain people or dealing with certain people. And that's not to say that even if you have obtained those things, even if you are just simply wise and smart, you're not going to have, your trials and tribulations, because you are definitely. But, um, a lot of times you can save yourself just by knowing better. And it's taught. Sometimes it's not taught, and you learn it through trial and error and through your own journey in life. And sometimes it's taught, and you just never go away from it, or you get away from it, you stray away from it because you felt like you were forced to know different things and do different things a certain way, almost like you were conditioned. So you want to stray away from it and do what you want to do. So, and you learn the hard way. You know what I'm saying? I've got myself in situations where it's like, looking back on it in hindsight, like, Jamal, you knew better, and you just went ahead and did that anyway. You weren't level headed, you were hot headed, and you just you fed off of emotion instead of just thinking logically and taking the time to step away from whatever the issue is, and then just reevaluating everything and then going back to it. And then you'll learn to walk away, whether it's from situations or from people. And you can feel the energy when energy is off around people. um you got to walk away from it. A lot of times we would just we rather keep the people around or stay around this particular setting because it makes us feel cool, or we got people that we consider our friends that are going to these different functions, and you don't want to seem lame, and you want to be in the know of what's going on, and the who's who, and you want to be included. But a lot of times we get involved in things that we shouldn't be getting involved in, and it's going to stain our image, and it's outside of our character in a negative light, of course. And it works against us. And you see things that you didn't want to see, you shouldn't see, and hear things you shouldn't have heard. You can be in the wrong place at the wrong time. And that is why your parents will tell you, that's not your friend. You think they're your friend, you just wait. Because a lot of times people grow up and they start getting around the wrong crowd, and you think they're your friends, and they're really not. And then the next thing you know, even if you aren't doing something physically to harm yourself or harm others, if you're around those group of people, they get caught stealing. If you're with them, you're going down too. you know just like if you're doing something in class and you're with this friend group, they get caught, you're going down too. The teacher doesn't want to hear about, well, I didn't do anything, or I didn't say anything, but you were with them, so it's gonna look guilty. You can't prove that you weren't a part of this. You know what I'm saying? Because you were there, you were with them at the time, at the scene of the crime when this happened. And it sucks, but that's just the way it goes, man. It's just the way it goes. And sometimes, you get taught at a very early age, even in school. With, I remember being in like the fourth grade, and my teacher, Mrs. Clark, rest in peace to Mrs. Clark. She used to write the word recess on the board, and she would erase a letter if she had to like pause for a certain period of time, um, so that the class would realize, like, oh, we got to be quiet. We're being too loud. She's trying to teach. We're talking over her. We're not behaving. Um, and if we don't realize that, she would erase a letter. And the more letters that she would erase out of recess would mean less time we would be out for recess, after lunch. So as a kid, you don't want your recess taken away at all, and you definitely don't want it shortened. So it's like, you would have to pay attention. And you're gonna have those kids in the class that did not care, and they would talk, 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 talk because they don't care. They would be bad and do disruptive things because they don't care. And you don't know what's going on at home. Maybe they're not being disciplined at home, so why would they care if they go out in public? They're not being taught anything at the house. And I used to question, not the teacher, but question. I used to go to my mom. I remember going to my mom, a bunch of times, being upset, like, we got our recess shortened, or we got our recess taken away, and it was only 3 kids out of the class. Why couldn't she just punish them instead of punishing the whole class? And my mom would say, one bad apple can spoil the tree. And you wouldn't know as a 9-10-year-old really what that meant, until you get older and you're like, okay, One person can ruin an entire thing. And in class, you don't really have a say so with who you're with or who you sit, who teaches you and who you sit by. And that's a life lesson. But I feel like it was preparing, us as kids earlier on. Like, sometimes you can be in the wrong place at the wrong time, and you don't have a choice as a kid. But when you get older, you have a choice to go to that party. You have a choice to go hang out with those group of people. You have a choice to get that person's number and text them and call them and meet up with them. And when you see them doing something that they're not supposed to do, you have a choice. Either you indulge with that, or you leave and you part ways and you don't partake in that, nor do you surround yourself with that person. You have a choice. You know what I'm saying? And we didn't, you don't realize that until you get older, and you don't even start thinking like that until you get older. But when you do get older and you start learning and you know better, you got to do better. You can't worry about people's opinion of you. You can't worry about how you feel like you may look. Like I said, if you feel like you're going to look lame and you're not going to be accepted by these people, and they're not going to want to hang around you. Do you want those people around you in the long run? If they're out partying, drinking, smoking, doing all types of drugs, they're robbing people, stealing. They're doing all these different things. Do you want to be around that? Because your life's in jeopardy, and you can end up either killing someone, killing yourself, or you end up going to jail you can do life, depends on what you do, or you go to jail for 30, 40 years, and now that's 30 or 40 of your young years have passed you by. You get out, you're in your 50s, 60s or whatever, and you've missed out on all of the youth of your life. You've missed out on possibly finding love and getting married and having a family, or pursuing your career, chasing your goals, buying that house, buying that car. Everything that you possibly wanted to do as a child, you kicked that to the curb. You threw that away for something that only took 5 minutes to land you in prison for. And it could have all been avoided. And there's plenty of stories, plenty of people around me that I went to school with, that I've known, that I can consider a friend, not a close friend, but I consider that person a friend, that have been locked up and are still locked up. Or if they get out and they continue going back, and it's a cycle, because now they don't have any structure. They're not conditioned to maneuver out in public. And they got away from those values that they were taught, if they were taught any, because they wanted to feel cool. They wanted to be popular. They wanted to have it, and it meaning that bad boy image, and that rough, rigged image, and this, I want this power, so I'm going to sell these drugs and make all this money and become untouchable, and I'm going to get the cars and the jewelry and the girls. We want all those different things, and you end up paying the price for chasing material things, especially in a illegal way. You know what I'm saying? And I don't care who you are. I gotta look out for me. I got a family, and my values that are instilled in me are gonna save me, and I'm gonna carry that as long as I live, and I'm gonna put it into my daughter. And I want her to learn. I want her to know. And I don't want her to stray away from that. I don't want her to hang around the wrong crowd and they turn her from being friendly and sweet and nice and loving and caring and respectful and studious. And I want her to learn about priorities and studying. And I want her I want to teach her about the spirit of discernment, and just realizing when you have that feeling in your gut, you have to pay attention to it. You can't ignore it, and you don't need to be worried about what people that you feel are your friends may say to you or about you, because you won't do this thing here. It's because you were taught, and you know your value, you know your worth, and what's going on over there is totally beneath you, and you are so much better than that, and you can ruin all of that. You know what I'm saying? And you can't save everybody. You can try and talk to people and say, hey, this is not the right way. Hey, you're better than this. Hey, you're going to mess up your future. Hey, et cetera, et cetera. obviously what's done in the dark always comes to light, but it's like you just can't save people all the time, because you'll drain yourself trying to save others. You will kill yourself trying to save others, and you may end up becoming a part of that if you try to save people. Sometimes you have to just let people go, um, and let them figure it out for themselves. Pray for them and keep it moving. I don't care how hard it may seem, and it will be hard. It will be tough. You may love that person, but hey, you gotta look out for you. You have your life to live. They have their lives to live, and if they choose to live their lives recklessly, then that's just on them. But my thing is, you have to realize that we only get one life. This is the only life that we know, and we need to be doing everything in our power to get the most out of it. We have to get everything. You need to find your purpose, you need to work and walk in your purpose, and you need to understand that not everybody can go with you, and you do not need to try to change people. And don't feel bad if you walk away from situations and people that are no longer serving you, because you will continue. Your goal should be continue to elevate your mindset and elevate everything a part of your life, and the people around you should be elevating too. The people around you, I'll say that one more time. The people around you should be elevating too. We all get stuck, we all get confused, we all get a little lost, and that's okay. But if you are refusing to grow, if you are refusing to learn, if you are refusing to continue to work on yourself and elevate your mind and elevate your game, if you're refusing to do those things, if you are you're so happy with where you are, you feel like there's no more room for growth, there's no more room for ascension, and you're stuck in your ways, then okay, I gotta let you go. I gotta love you from a distance, but I gotta let you go. You can't be beside me anymore. We can't continue to hang out anymore, because your mind's gonna affect me, and you're not sharpening my skills. You're not sharpening my mind. You're not helping me. I cannot get any knowledge, any motivation from you. I can't get any inspiration from you, because I can't learn anything, and because you're not growing, and I am. Match my potential, I match your potential, if it's moving in a positive direction. Because if I'm working on myself and I see my friends are working on themselves and they're continuing to advance in life, that's going to motivate me to advance in life. And I'm going to ask them. I'm going to ask them like different. I'm going to get different tips and pointers and just advice and all types of things from them, like um on how to navigate and how to go through the different pressures of life, and how do they do this, how do they do that. I love having supportive friends, and I love being able to go to people. um but if I can't go to you for anything, and you don't want to come to me for nothing at all, and you're just like, no, I'm cool where I'm at, well, hey, we have nothing to talk about. Then that's just that. So um you know, you got to be able to just move on from people. It was nice. The time we shared were nice. Lots of memories. Got love for you. But on this next level, this next journey I'm on, God's taking me on, you ain't ready for that. And if I stay over here with you, I'm going to miss that bus. I'm going to miss that opportunity. And God's not going to elevate me unless I'm even making the steps and the proper moves to even to be able to be elevated. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, hey, if you know better, you do better. And if you don't know better by now, you better start learning. You know what I'm saying? Because you can end up messing yourself up, and no amount of money, no amount of fame, no amount of people around you that's going to cover you from God and what he sees and what he knows and the way that he chooses to deal with it. You know? So you can't hide. You may hide from the public, you may hide from the man, but at the end of the day, you are going to reap what you sow. You know what I'm saying? So if you know better, do better. And like I said, just because you are doing your best possible works in this world, you are not going to endure some turbulence, because you are. That's just the way life is. And that's the way that you are going to build strength, whether it's physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally. You're going to continue to be tested. But if you are continuing to do negative things and be around negative people and allowing people to drain you, you're ultimately damaging yourself in the long run, and it's going to affect every single thing that you're doing in life. Everything that you are trying to place your hands on and dabble in is going to affect everything, and you're going to suffer until you realize that it's up to you to get you where you want to be. If you know better, you do better. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna head out. You know what I'm saying? Because I say you know what I'm saying twice like that. You know what I'm saying? But no, I'm gonna head out, man. Enjoy your week. I want you to enjoy your week. Be productive. If you're on vacation or if you're working, go out here and be the best that you can be. Drink your water. Eat your fruits and your veggies, man. Take care of yourself. Take care of others. Don't allow the things in life to be mundane, okay? Don't allow this week to be mundane. You got to go out here and fight the power that be. And sometimes it's your mind. It's your mind. We all don't want to feel like waking up early to go to work, but you got to go make that money, and you got to provide for yourself, for your family, and you got to eat. You know what I'm saying? Make the best of it. Trouble don't last always. I don't know who needs to hear this, but trouble doesn't last always. And everything you do will not always feel mundane. You got to look on the bright side. Find that silver lining somewhere this week, okay? Be grateful. Be appreciative. You're here. Make the most of it. All right? Thank you guys for listening. I appreciate you. I love you. Hit me up. Follow me on social media at Jamal Butler on all social media platforms. Share this episode. Share this podcast. Subscribe if you haven't. Follow me. Tap in with me everywhere, man. Thank you from across the country, from across the entire globe. We gonna see y'all next week, man. And oh yeah, let's get it together with Big Mal. Peace.